Hey, and welcome to Fairy Dust TV. I'm your host, Jen Burton, romantic fairy godmama for smart, successful single women around the world. And it's that time again. That time where I get to share with you a really fun topic and explain how you can help your dating life. Today's topic, how to meet men without online dating. Now, full disclosure, with the women I work with from all over the world, we always use online dating to help them meet men. It is my favorite way to meet men because of all of the possibilities. When you do it right, it can blow your mind. But I understand there are lots of women out there who are very reluctant, my smart, successful, professional women, single women who are very reluctant to use online dating or have had horrible experiences in the past. If you work with me, if you go to my website, Irresistibility, E-RRESISTIBILITY.com, you can get 2 chapters free from my program Irresistibility if you want to give it a try again and do it the right way, because it can be a completely different experience. But let's go back to my ladies who really want to know how to meet men without online dating. So I could tell you exactly where to go and what to do. And I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do that in today's episode because there's something that needs to happen first before you start meeting men offline. And this is going to rock your world and change everything if you understand, learn, and do these 3 things that I am going to talk to you about today. Why? Because these things are the precursor to actually meeting a man that you are truly interested in and who feels the same about you, something that has potential to last. The problem is that we women, smart, successful women, since we've been playing in a man's world for a very, very long time, we've become very jaded and we've lost a lot, we've become out of touch with our more feminine and softer side in many ways. And there's nothing wrong with what we're doing in the working world, but it's not always translating into our love life. So we go around with these blinders on and we want to deflect attention from men. And sometimes men are just can be a little sleazy. Not all guys, but and we just get unwanted attention. We don't know how to process the attention and we don't know what to do to actually meet men. And then there are some people who are kind of tired of the bar scene. Now, again, full disclosure, I met my man while I was online dating. I was having so much fun, and yet I met him in a bar. Okay, so that can still happen no matter what age you are, because it's not about the venue. It's about the 3 things that we are about to talk about, and that is really going to determine whether you meet somebody and when and how and all that stuff. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to meet somebody incredible offline is you need to bring excitement into your life. So you remember a minute ago I was talking about how we get into this working world, we get into this mentality, and there's things about us that shut down. And one of those things is that we lose connection with the things that have brought excitement to us in our lives. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is bring excitement into your life first. Now, I know dating can be exciting, especially when you feel that connection with that man who sends shivers down your spine, brings butterflies to your stomach, and he makes you weak in the knees when he puts his lips to yours, or the way he touches the small of your back. I get it. I know that kind of excitement. It's a lot of fun. But I'm actually talking about a different type of excitement. I don't want you to solely focus on that type of excitement, because if you can bring excitement to your life in other ways first, that excitement is going to be inevitable. Absolutely inevitable. Let me say that again. If you focus on bringing your own excitement into your life, dating excitement will be inevitable. So this means I want you to reconnect with the things that light you up in your life or have lit you up in the past. Like, what did you used to do as a young girl that brought you joy? Get back to those things. go back to your roots to start with. Or if maybe you were kind of a boring kid, then start something new. Think about all the things you've thought about doing and the thought crossed your mind, wow, that looks like it could be a little fun, and start doing those things. One of mine on my bucket list right now, you can start making your bucket list and traveling and all kinds of things. But one of my bucket list things, which I will do this year, is indoor skydiving. So there's just a list of things that I want you to start doing, because you need to have excitement in your life if you really want to draw somebody in that lights you up in that way as well. Because that excitement that you bring on your own, it's magnetic and it makes you irresistible in many, many ways. Now let's move on to the second thing that I would like you to do, and that's become genuinely enthusiastic about life, okay? And about your life. So that's a lot easier to do when you're doing things in your life that light you up. But I also want you to change your perception. There are a lot of jaded people in this world. I mean, extraordinarily jaded people. And I have to admit, I used to be one of those people all the time, and I still have those tendencies. And I'm not asking you to be happy and fake happy all the time, but what I'm asking you to do is take a look around in your life, change and tweak the things that are bringing you down, and take on a different outlook about being alive and being genuinely, and get to a place where you can be genuinely enthusiastic about being alive. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Jen, all I want is to meet somebody that lights me up and all that. What I'm asking you to do is put the cart before the horse in this, and what seems to be, because again, just like bringing an excitement into your life, being enthusiastic about life makes you incredibly more approachable to the right men. It draws them in. It makes you magnetic. Men really enjoy being around women who are happy, who are enthusiastic about their lives, who have something to talk about because they're enthusiastic. And men are really drawn to women who aren't completely jaded. So if you are jaded, I understand. I've been there, girl. I totally get it. What I want you to do is start changing that for yourself. Start asking yourself, is it really worth being this pessimistic and jaded about life? Is it really getting me what I want? Start from that question, and then you can go from there and elaborate on it and take that to a level where it's like, hey, maybe this whole life thing, maybe it can be as good as I want it to be. All right, so that takes me to number 3. Now, this is a big one. This is huge if you want to meet men offline instead of doing online dating. And this is something, again, that I used to do big time. So because of my self-esteem issues growing up and into my early 20s, I had a really hard time seeing men being attracted to me. I never thought that they were attracted to me. So what happened is I basically had I guess metaphoric dark glasses on, so I couldn't see men wanting to approach me, and I never gave them the ability to. I cut them off very quickly because I doubted myself, and I could not believe, and I couldn't take on the fact that they would actually be attracted to me. So what I'm asking you to do is to open your freaking eyes, like I had to open my freaking eyes, and notice men noticing you. Now, okay, so the first thing that happens for a lot of women when I ask them to do that is their sense that everything about them starts to shut down, because there's a whole bunch of fear that comes up around that. And I get that fear. I totally get it. That it's emotionally a vulnerable place to be. And most of us consider it a dangerous place to be emotionally, but it's not. What we're not recognizing is that there are a lot of great men out there who would love the opportunity to approach us, but they get rejected so much that they're nervous too. So they're looking for those cues that you're approachable. And one of those cues is being able to, eye contact, being able to acknowledge somebody with your eyes and your smile for approachability. Now, Okay, so then we're going to go to the extreme part of that, because what happens next when women start thinking about acknowledging somebody with their eyes and and making them more approachable is they're like, great, I'm going to get approached by guys I don't want to get. It's going to be just too much. And I get that. I completely understand that feeling of overwhelm that comes up. But what's the worst case scenario if somebody approaches you that you're not interested in talking to further? What's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is that you have to respond and say, thank you, I'm flattered, but no thank you. Okay? That's, in the majority of cases, is the worst case scenario. So, thank you, I'm flattered, but no thank you. You don't even have to say I have a boyfriend or anything else like that. Most guys completely have no problem with that. That was a very, very kind response. And most men are genuinely grateful that you weren't a complete bitch to them and just shut them down or lied to them about it. It's great. It's a really, truly win-win situation. So what I want to encourage you again is for number 3 is I want you to start noticing men noticing you. And especially if you're a professional woman traveling a lot, you can do this everywhere. You can use this as practice. If a man approaches you and you can, give him I really appreciate that and I'm flattered, but no thank you. As well as, use this and let yourself start smiling, looking men in the eyes, noticing men, being appreciative of men. And then all of the single men are going to start coming out of the woodwork and start asking you out. Now, we could also talk about, on this episode, we could talk about you approaching men as well. But for this episode, I think we're going to stick with you approaching men with your eye contact. So, to break that down, make it simple, it's really as good as let him catch you looking at him and then smile. Try it. See what happens. It doesn't hurt as much as we think it's going to hurt. And let's say if we're talking worst case scenarios again, maybe this guy isn't interested in you. Trust me, you are going to have made his day regardless, because it's always great to have a woman smile at you. A genuine smile. Of course. Not like this. Okay, lady love. That is a wrap for our episode today. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask me questions here. Of course, you can, if you have a more detailed question, you can go to my website at havehimyourway.com/blog, and there is an icon there that says, need help with your dating life? Click here, you'll click there, and you'll fill out the form. Also, again, love online dating. Why? Because it gives you the opportunity to practice online before having to go face to face. So yes, you can definitely meet men offline. You don't have to meet men online. But you could also do what I did and do a hybrid combination of online dating and offline dating. That worked beautifully for me. 9 years later, with the love of my life. So if you want to know more about the online dating, you can get the first 2 chapters for free, because you don't want to do online dating blindly. You do not want to put up some crappy, bland profile that thousands and thousands of women put up. Instead, put up something that makes you stand out from the crowd. And I can help you do that. You can get 2 chapters for free at Irresistibility. You may screenshot that. Screenshot. Sorry, that was a quick remove there. You got it? And lover girl, I will see you in next week's episode of Fairy Dust TV. You have a brilliant weekend and have some fun. Use that eye contact. Get caught. I want you to get caught. Letting him see you look at him and smiling.